Hey, I'm Tom Keaveney. I'm a senior at Rockhurst High School and going to KU next year, so be good. Looking forward to it. Growing up, I had a good family. Had two wonderful parents, a few brothers and sisters. It was a great childhood. Loved the house that we lived in, and everything was great. When I was about 7 years old, my father was diagnosed with colon cancer, and really kind of hit our family. We would always go visit him in the hospital, and it was a long process, but about 2 years later, I was about 9 or 10 years old, my father passed away, and my family and I, we kind of have a close, we have to a degree, we have an association with death. I know it's definitely affected my family a lot. Death, no other theme in history has ever really compiled so much curiosity and admiration, and it's no small surprise that poets and musicians and all of them, it's a big theme in a lot of their work, in a lot of poems and songs, and being a theme of life, it's always a huge part of man's history has been to try to understand death, and the fear of death has kind of been with us throughout history. In the classical era, the Renaissance, even today, it stirs a lot of emotions. One of the big things is, losing everything that you've spent your whole life doing, fear of not doing what you wanted to do or not accomplishing your goals. Our generation has done everything they can do to try to delay death, but it's an inevitable part of our lives. In the process, we've forgotten the true meaning of life. Instead of trying to push off the inevitable, just try to, do your best, do what you can in life. Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night is perhaps one of the greatest poems that confronts the fear of dying, by a Welsh poet named Dylan Thomas in 1951. He tells us whoever we are, the wise men, the good, the wild, we should try to follow, to truly live life to the fullest, and when one dies, they should think, instead of this is the end, think this is the beginning. This is the beginning of a journey. Death is just part of the journey that it all entails. I mean, it's a big step. Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night by Dylan Thomas. Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. The wise men at their ends know that dark is right. Because their words have forked no lightning, they do not go gentle into that good night. Good men, the last wave by, crying how bright their frail deeds might have danced at a green bay. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Wild men who caught and sang the sun in flight, and learned too late they grieved it on its way. Do not go gentle into that good night. Grave men near death, who see with blinding sight, blind eyes could blaze like meteors and be gay. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. And you, my Father, there on the sad height, curse, bless me now with your fiery tears, I pray. And do not go gentle into that good night. Rage, rage against the dying of the light.